Hi everyone. So today, welcome to our basic to technical analysis session number two. Last time it was also conducted by Terence, and this week also will be conducted by Terence itself. And so Terence will be continuing. And if anyone has any questions, you can drop it onto the chat itself, and we will respond to it at the end of the session or in between if any of the co-hosts can answer, they will answer it then and there itself. I hope that's clear. And over to you, Terence.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you everyone for joining for this session. So this is the second session that we are going to discuss about the technical analysis aspect. So this program, I would say, it's a basic thing. So we are trying to give you all a basic understanding what the technical analysis is all about. Then you all can do your own researches and own learnings through different platforms. So our main aim is to give you all a basic foundation. So when you have sort of a proper foundation, then from that you all can move forward in this particular subject area. um, uh, and uh, and we had a very unfortunate situation last week. So before we having the same thing, I would like to thank everyone who teach us all these stuffs from the day that we were born and until up to our death. Right. So guys, so this is the disclaimer, because what we are trying to do here is to give you all some basic understanding about technical analysis, and all these thing information that we have taken are from internet, different books, and lots of other presentations. So we assume that all these things are accurate up to some extent, but there can be different changes as well. But here what we're trying to do is to give you all some educational information about the technical analysis, so that there will be some changes. So this is the disclaimer for that. Right. So we'll do a small recap to the previous session. So what we did was we talk about successful factors to become a successful trader. So what we said is psychology psychology and the discipline is so much important. So that's a good factor to become successful trader. Then we said trading strategy, you need to have medium term or short term or maybe long term or whatever the indicators that you use. So that's all about the trading strategy. And third thing is risk management, because we said, or even though all these technical analysis programs are conducted, and even though we do lots of charts analysis, so there could be instances where it can go wrong, because the basic foundation of technical analysis is that we assume that the past will repeat. So based on that only we take some decisions, but there could be instances where it can go wrong. So because of that, we have to have some risk management strategy as well. And fourth important factor is the knowledge, experience, and the skills. Even though you follow this course, it doesn't mean that, I mean, this session doesn't mean that you are 100% okay to do technical analysis and you can do all the things. No, we have to keep learning, so that you can excel in this particular subject area. So you need to have the knowledge, experience, and skill to become a successful trader. So when we talk about the psychology, we talk about individual as well as the mass psychology. So individual, guys, hope I am clear. Taranga, my voice is clear, no, and audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, Terence. You can
Super,
hear
super,
me.
right. So we talk about psychology. So when we talk about psychology, so there are two aspects: individual and the mass psychology. So individual psychology is about you, how you look at the market, how you take your trades, right? So then like you, so there are multiple traders in the market, so we have to understand their psychology as well. So that is what we call as the mass psychology. but you know how your feelings are behaving, you know how you take your decisions, but you can't understand how others are making their decisions. So you can't talk to each and every people in the market. So you have a tool to understand the mass psychology, that is the technical analysis, right? So we talk about that, and after that we talk about why we fail as an individual. So we talk about lots of scenarios as to why we fail as an individual. For an example, over trading, maybe you have billionaire dream to become a billionaire within a day or two. So likewise, we identified lots of failure factors, and we identified how to overcome those failure factors, like, you know, have a proper plan, journaling. So we discuss about lots of things, right? After that, we talk about two feelings that will impact on our decisions. The first is the fear, and second thing is the greed. So fear is that whenever the market is, market cannot move up like a straight line. It has to move up, then it has to go down, then it has to move up, go down. So that's a cycle. So whenever there is a small pullback to the market, so you guys are thinking then that's the end of the market, and you all like start selling like nothing. Okay, so that's where you get the fear. Then whenever share moves up, so you think that, okay, so we should get into this share because it's moving up without anything. You just, without looking at the business, without looking at the fundamentals of anything, you just the opportunity and you just keep on buying that share. So that is what we call as the greed. So we said how to manage those things, and after that we said how to pick a stock. So we talk about three important aspects. We said the first thing that you need to look at is the fundamentals, then the sentiment, and the third thing is the technical. Okay, so majority of people are blaming the technical analysis people, but if you look at technical analysis is not all about looking at the charts. You have to look at lots of things, but there are different people who will only look at the charts, so because of that they will fail. You have to look at fundamental, sentiment, and the technical. So technical is the third thing, right? So after that we said, under the technical analysis, we said there are two important things. One thing is the chart analysis, that is so much important, and second thing is the technical indicators. So other concept that all our traders or the people who are learning the technical analysis is that they follow technical indicators. They don't actually look at the chart analysis. They go on the basis of the technical indicators and take their buying. So that's completely wrong. So technical indicators is at the second stage. First thing is the chart analysis. So when you talk about the chart analysis, we have to look at the price actions, whether the price is moving upward, whether the price is going downward, or whether it has a side wave. And after that you have to look at the pattern analysis. So pattern analysis is about, like, a cup and handle. So there are lots of patterns that we can identify. Let's say pennant, cup and handle, and wedges. So there are lots of patterns that we can identify. So we have to analyze those things. So finally we talk about market phases and life cycle of a share. So when we talk about market phases, what we discuss is that, so there will be some accumulation point. So the at that point the investors will accumulate their shares with large volume, but there will not be any price movement. Then suddenly there is a price high, then all will come into the share, then all will buy. Then you will have another reaccumulation point, and again another high, then a distribution. So that is how a market is behaving, right? So you can't have a straight line market every time. It has to have all these phases. Then after that we talk about a life cycle of a share. What we said is that in the initial stages, the high net worth individuals and also institutional buying people, so they will buy at lowest point without making any impact to the price. So they will buy a large quantities, but there will not be any price hike. And after that there will be a sudden price hike. Then what happens is, now you come to the mania phase. So mania phase is the phase where you and I buy the share. So at that moment you will get lots of research reports, lots of recommendations, lots of discussions in all our WhatsApp groups. So that's where the mania phase. So that's where we get into the share. So at that moment, all our high net worth individuals and all the institutional traders will dump their shares on us. Then we will see the decline of the price. So that's how the life cycle of share is, and that is how it is behaving. So that's the recap of the previous session. So I hope that you all, even though you all have not participated, for majority of you all have not participated for that. So I gave you some basic recap to the previous session, and the video is also available under Dr. Amila's YouTube session. So you all can just go through with that and get some idea, right? So this is going to be our today's program structure. So we are trying to give some basic understanding about supports and resistance in terms of theoretical aspect. Then we are trying to identify supports and resistance through charts, and also we are trying to identify trend supports and trend resistance. Then we are trying to identify price structures based on higher highs, higher lows. I hope these terms you would have asked somewhere, or you would have identified somewhere, but we will try to give you some basic understanding what these higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? And after that, if time permits, we will discuss about Fibonacci tool as well to identify the supports and resistance. So that's the program structure of the day. Right. So guys, so before we move into the supports and resistance, so I just thought of giving you some basic idea about the human and the market, right? So market, the major component of the market is what? It's not the financial instruments that we did. The major components of the financial market is human, because the human are the people who are buying all these shares and selling all these shares, and they are the people who are creating the market, and they are the people who are creating all these instruments. So without humans, the robots are not there to create all these things, right? So human are the major human is the major part of the market, so we have to accept that fact. And other so that's the main important aspect that we have to keep in our mind. So human are the major part of the market, not all other things. Okay. And other misconcept that we have is that, so people think that market is moving without any rules. So they think that market is moving without any rules. So it goes up according to their wish, and so there is no any fundamentals, there is no any rule like that. Okay. But we have to keep that in our mind, that market has its own rules. Okay. So market is having its own rule. So we have to understand the fact that humans are so much important because they are part of the market. And yes, so humans are part of the market, and they are so much important in our journey, right? So this is a life of a human. So I'm trying to give you with these two slides, I'm trying to give you some basic idea how these market structures have been created. So this is a life of a human. So you are born, and after that, after 5 or 6 years, you try to you go into schools, then you learn a lot, then you become an adult, then you start your job, then you become successful, and you will be like a matured guy. Then after that you will retire, then you will have a retirement age, and after that you will be then after that you will die. So that's our life of a human. So during this this entire phase, so if you really look at our life in general, what we do is we just early in the morning we just get up and we brush our teeth, then we have our breakfast or tea, then after that we go to school or we go to office and we do our work, then we start having our lunch, then after that we work or we study, then we have then we come home after schooling or after work, then we have our dinner. So if you really look at this entire cycle, it's actually same. So there will not be any change to your schedule to my one. So majority of these people are having the same lifestyle. So there could be different changes, but if you really look at the entire population, so I would say about 80 to 90% is having this general life cycle. Okay, so all these markets are created by human, guys. So when something is created by humans, then so those people are having the same pattern of life, then the people who have created that market will create the same pattern in the market as well, right? Because all our, so again I'm just trying to give you the context as to how all the, because people are thinking how we can identify human behavior in the market. So everyone is having that question, I guess, right? So I'm trying to give that basic foundation because all these markets are created by humans. And if you look at humans, so humans will have their own life cycle, and that own life cycle, about 80 to 90% of people are having the same life cycle. So as I discussed earlier, so because of that, since the market is created by the humans, so that same pattern will repeat in the market as well. So that's where we get all these the theories like supports, resistance, because at, let's say in a support area, majority of the investors are buying. So it's, I know it's very surprising thing, but it's happening. The reason is that market has been created by humans, and humans are acting in general. I would say 80 to 90% of humans are acting in a same manner, right? So when you have a resistance, majority of people are start selling. So that's how all these theoretical things are coming from. Okay, so I hope that you all got some understanding about these things. So that's why I actually wanted to give you all some basic understanding before we move into the resistance or supports. So we have to look at the human psychology and how they are behaving. Another question everyone is having is how we can identify the other investors. So I hope you got the basic understanding. So with that understanding, keep that in your mind. So markets have been created by humans. The humans are, all majority of humans are having a same routine cycle of the of life. So after that, so because of that, since the market is created by humans, so same patterns will impact in the market as well. So keep that while keeping that in that basic understanding in your mind, let's move into the supports or resistance. So here what we are trying to do is, guys, we will initially give you some definition. So that's why you will have lots of text here. So once we complete this definition, so when we do something, you need to have a proper foundation. When you build up your house, you lay down a proper foundation. So this is the foundation that we are trying to build up to give you all guys a proper foundation. So once you get the proper foundation, then we will move into live session and look at some charts, and we can identify what these supports are, what these resistance are, how those are working properly. Okay, so if you look at supports and resistance in technical analysis, so technical analysis, people use supports and resistance levels to identify the price points on a chart where probabilities favor a force or a reversal of prevailing trend. So what it means is that, for an example, let's say share hits to a support, then so let's assume you have a share and the price is at 50. Now it's coming down, and coming down. Now it hits to 45, now 44, and you have a huge support at 40. So whenever it hits to the 40 price range, then you have a force or reversal of the prevailing trend. The prevailing trend is, it's a downward trend. So it's going down from 50 to 40. So once it hits to the 40 price range, then that trend will force, or there will be a reversal. So just assume the share price is moving up. You buy a share at 40, which is at a support, good support. Then now it's moving higher and higher. and it hits to 60, then you see 60 is the resistance and you see some force in the prevailing trend or reversal in the prevailing trend. So that is what we call as supports and the resistance. So whenever a support occurs, so when there's a support occurs, what happens is this, the particular downward trend will have a force, right? So we'll have a force and it will create some demand to that particular share. Then whenever it has a resistance in the upward, so what happens is there will be a temporary force to the upward momentum and there will be some supply. So other term that we have to use now majority of people are talking about support, supports and resistance, but other term that we can use is, for the supports we can say demand zone and resistance we can say supply. Okay, keep that in your mind as well. So when you look at the supports and resistance, so it's always about psychology of the people. So let's say if you are an investor and you have some good past experience about a share and you think, okay, if this particular share hits to 40, from that point onwards it will have the same memory. Okay, so because of that, so people will react differently in the supports and resistance area. So that is what we have mentioned it here. Market psychology plays a major role as traders and investors remember the past and react to changing condition to anticipated future market momentum. So that is how all these supports and resistance are working. Because if a price hits to a super support level, people start thinking, okay, I remember this happened in previous occasions as well, so I should buy. So when all the people are buying, so price is going up. So when it hits to a resistance, majority of people think, ayo, now it has moved up, now it's in the resistance. So you will think that this is the correct time to sell. Not only you, there are many people in the market, so they will have the same psychology. They will start selling at the resistance. Okay, so that is how all these theories are working. And so when we talk about the supports and resistance, so we can identify all these supports and resistance through trend lines as well as moving averages. So I'm going to discuss these things. I'm just trying to give you some basic idea. We will move into the live session, then we can show you how it is working, but just keep that in your mind so you can identify supports or resistance through trend lines and moving averages as well. So in general, lots of buyers and sellers are getting activated at supports or resistance. So whenever a share hits to a great support, then the people will start buying. So whenever it hits to a resistance, so there will be lots of people get activated and they start selling. So at the support or the resistance level, so majority of buyers and the sellers will get activated. Then so they will start taking their decisions. So whenever, so let's assume so now share is at so share A is at 50 rupees, then it goes down. So let's assume it hits to 40. Now it goes down. Now 40 is the greatest support that we have. If in case if 40 cannot be sustained, then it can go down to, let's say, 35. So once it hits to 35, so 35 will be the next support. Now 40 support is broken, it moves down and 35 becomes the next support. So when 35 becomes the next support, now the previous support of 40 will not act as a support. Now it will act as a resistance when this share is moving up. So that is what we have mentioned here. Break in the support or resistance, the asset will create a new support or resistance. Let's assume now share is at 40 and it moves up to 50. 50 is your resistance period. So whenever it hits to 50 and if it start moving, then 50 will become a support again, because now 50 has been broken. now that particular 50 resistance will not act as a resistance anymore. Now the 50 will become a support. So that is what we talk here or discuss here, breaking the supports or resistance. The assets will create a new support or resistance. So a support that is available right now can become a resistance as well, or resistance can become a support as well. So that is depending on the price movement. So final thing is that it is very, very much important for us to understand the strength of the support and the resistance. So if the resistance is so much high, let's assume share is moving upward a lot, but we have observed that the resistance that is coming towards the share is so much high. So we have to identify that. And whenever a price is moving down, and if we see that there is a huge support, so that means we can buy at that moment. Okay, so because of that, we have to understand, we need to be so much clear about the strength of the support and the resistance before we take any positions, right? So when we draw a support or resistance line, so what we do here is that we try to connect at least minimum 2 points, at least minimum 2 points. So when we draw the charts, I will let you know. I will show you how to do the draw a support or resistance line, but just keep that in your mind. So when we draw a support or resistance, at least we need to have 2 minimum points. So more the points, so we will get superb support. So let's say share one, there is a share. Now it's trading at 50, then it goes down to 40. Whenever it hits 40, it moves up, then it goes down to again 60, and from 60 it reverses, then after that again it comes to 40. Now from 40, then it moves up. So likewise, if there are multiple touch points at 40, so we can identify that particular touch point is as a greatest support. So how we draw a resistance or support is that we connect at least 2 points, but if we have more than 2 points, it's a great how we can identify that is as a great support. So more the points, higher the strength. So yeah, the support of a share can become a resistance if the support breaks. A resistance of a share can become a support if the resistance breaks. So this is what we discussed previously also. So in simple, so as I said earlier also, in simple, support or resistance are the past behaviors of traders in good or bad ways. So people will think, okay, if this share drops to this level, so in general, I am so much happy, so I should take a trade. Then people will start buying at that moment. So when people are having lots of bad experience about the share, when it is moving up, let's say 40 to 50, so people think, okay, 50 is the resistance, and last time also I got hit at 50, so I should sell at the 50. So like you, majority of people will have this bad experience. So at that moment, people will start selling. So that's where you get the resistance. So that's the basic understanding about the supports and resistance in terms of definition and all the theoretical aspects. So I hope you all got some idea what the support and what the resistance is. And also remember, so markets have been created by humans. So all the humans are taking their actions based on their justification. So since the market has been created by the humans, so majority of people are, and also the majority of people are acting in the same manner. So that's where all these supports and resistance will come into play. Super. So we can move into the charts, and we can identify how the supports and resistance are working. So I said you guys, so supports and resistance areas can be identified through charts, by drawing trend lines, and also through the moving averages as well. So when we talk about supports and resistance, so there are 4 things that we need to discuss. One thing is support, and second thing is the resistance, and third thing is trend support, and fourth thing is trend resistance. So based on these things, we will move into to the charts. So I have for the best interest of the time, so I have taken few. I'm not going to discuss about shares that is in the share market, guys, because we can't. It will have some impact. So what we are trying to do is to give some awareness to you all. So because of that, we will not actually discuss any shares. So I have taken Bitcoin so that I can discuss all these theoretical aspects with you all through Bitcoin. So I hope you all can see my screen. Can someone Tarango, can someone tell me whether my screen is visible?
Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay, super. Right. So this is the Bitcoin chart. I'll remove the lines that I have drawn. Okay. So if you look at this, so now we said, so if you want to draw a support or resistance, we need to have at least 2 points. So this is the investing.com site. So this is where we actually draw all these things. So just look at here. I hope you all can see. So this particular, if you draw this line, so you can identify. So there are few multiple touch points. See here, there is one touch point. Let me show you. It's a touch point. So whenever it hits, it moves up. Then again here, there is another multiple. There is a touch point here. Whenever it hits to that range, the price goes up. Another support. So whenever it hits to this level, it goes up. Another touch point here. So there are 2 touch points there. Another touch point. So there are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 touch points here in this particular area. So we can take this as a good support. See, whenever it hits to that range, the share is moving upward. So this is how we have to look at as a support. So whenever it hits to that particular range, it moves up. So we have multiple touch points. So here we have only 5, but in general what we said is at least you need to have 2 minimum touch points. Here we have about 5 touch points, so that we can identify this particular. Let's say we will mark it. We will color it into red. Yeah. So this red line is a support. Okay. අපි ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් උන්නම් red line එකක් දාන්න නැතුව support එක නිකන් green වගේ දාමුකෝ. එතකොට visible වෙනවනේ හොඳට හරි. So this color is into a support. So there are multiple touch points here. So whenever a share hits to that particular range, it moves up. So then we can identify it as a support. Now let's move into a resistance. Yeah. So if you take this, I will color it in red. Yeah. So here, see these arrows. We will change the color into red. So now here in this green trend line, or sorry, this line. So whenever it hits to that particular area, the share is moving upward. But when it hits here, then it starts going down. Now again it's a support. Now it moves up. Yes, that's fine. Then now here the resistance has been broken. Now it's going upward. And again after that it went down and it took a support here. Then it moves up here. See, so there are multiple resistance line or multiple resistance touch points. And here also, see, whenever that particular share hits to that particular range, it gives a reversal. Okay, so now here this line has become a resistance in this particular area. Now just assume, okay, now this share is moving upward and now it's going downward. Then it hits here the support. It took a support here. Then it moves up. Then it took a resistance here. Now it went down again. Right now, still this particular line is acting as a resistance. Now it goes down and it hits here. Then again, you got some super price movement. Then share is moving upward. Right now here, now share is moving upward. So when now after that, so once it starts its journey, now again it start coming down. But so here, if you look at, the price has not gone into this level at this moment. See, it has not come down to here. It has taken a support here, and again it has moved up from here. So now, so this is what we said. So a support can become a resistance in the future, and a resistance can become a support. Now at this moment, here this particular price has or at this area, this particular line has become a resistance. But after that, once it's broke, it moves up, then it took a support here and it moved up again. So this particular resistance now has become a support to this share. Okay, so I hope you all got some idea how to identify the supports and resistance. So there will be multiple areas that we can identify. Let's go into one hour chart. Yeah. So see. And don't worry, guys. You will generally now, since we are practicing this, we soon after we just look at this chart, we can identify, okay, this is the support and this is the resistance. But you will also come to that stage when you practice, because you know the skills can be developed through practicing. Without just looking at chart, you can't. So whenever, you know, when I look at this, so I look at this particular area as a support or demand area. See, and also I see a resistance here at this level. I will mark it in red. Whenever it hits here, it takes a support and it moves up. But whenever it comes to this range, it will have a reversal. So that is how, guys, all these supports and resistance are working. So I hope now what you have to do is practice your eyes to catch all these things. Just log into investing.com and just try to draw lots of trend lines or lines like this to understand the supports and the resistance. So whenever you see this, you all can see. So when you practice will become an expert, will help you to become an expert. So when you practice it more and more, then you can catch all these things. So here you can see it's a clear support area. So there are multiple. So remember, our theory is that there has to be at least 2 touch points. So here we have about multiple touch points, about 5 to 6 touch points. So we can take it as a superb support. Now here, so there are multiple touch points. So we can take it as a resistance. And also we will have to keep in our mind whenever so just assume now this is a support. No? Okay, right. So let's so this line is a support, guys. Okay, and this line is a resistance. So when you, even though you have identified this as a support, and it doesn't mean that prices will not go down. So there will be possibilities where the prices can break the support. If in case if it breaks, so the share will have to find the next immediate support. So here now multiple times it has tested this support, and whenever it hits it, it moves up. But unfortunately, at this moment, this support broke. And also, let me here, at this point, the support broke. And also look at the volume. And that support has been broken with huge volume, above average volume. So now it has taken another support here. See, so all these supports and the resistance, so these are not like 100% accurate theory, so you can stick to that. Okay, so there will be, now if you look at this, so this particular line is acting as a great support, but there can be instances where that it can break and it goes down and it will find another support. So all these things are not 100% accurate. So when we say, okay, this is the support, and it doesn't mean that it will not break. It can break, and it will find another support. And so likewise, so that is how the share prices are moving upward also. So we say, okay, this particular A share will have a resistance at 50, but over the period of time, the share can hit to 50, 60, 70, and it can go up to 300, 400 also. So if you look at Expo, so if Expo share was trading at about 2 rupees or 3 rupees, now it is trading at about 400, if I am not mistaken. So during this particular journey from 2 rupees to 400, we had many resistance areas. No? So that many resistance areas have been broken and it has moved up. So likewise, so all these things can break. So resistance also can be broken and the supports also can be broken. So I hope you got some amount of understanding about the supports and the resistance. Okay. So now, so as per our the presentation, so we have to talk about 4 areas: support, resistance, trend supports, and trend resistance. Now we discuss about supports and resistance. Now next session is about trend support and trend resistance. So we will move into that as well. Just give me a little time to remove all these things. Right. So when we talk about trend support and trend resistance, so this is a trend. See this price. So when this particular share hits to this particular range, now it has created a new channel and it's moving up. It's a trend. Okay. So when you now this is also a trend. So trend, so there could be upward trends as well as there could be downward trend. So this is a downward trend, and in that particular downward trend, you will have a downward trend channel, and this is an upward trend, and in that upward trend, you will have an upward trending price channel. Okay, so how we can identify trend supports or trend resistance is like this. Let me do this. Okay, so just assume now this is a trend. So here you have a point, one touch point, and here also you have another touch point. So remember our basis is that we said we have to have minimum 2 touch points. Here we have a see, this is one touch point, and this is another. So there are about few touch points there. Then we draw a trend line. Okay, so if you draw a trend line, whenever it hits here, it moves up, then it comes down, then it again moves up, then it comes down, then it can move up like this. So whenever you have a point like this, so this is what we know, what we identify it as a trend support. So this is a trend. It's in the upward trending. Then you see the prices is hitting this particular line and it moves up. So it's a trend. It's a trend support. And if you look at this area, so see, whenever it hits to this particular price range, it goes down. It hits, it goes down. It hits, it goes down. So this is a trend resistance. So there are multiple touch points here. Then whenever it hits to that particular range, it goes down and it will act as a resistance. It will act as a resistance. So this is what we call it as a trend support and trend resistance. So this is a trend resistance where whenever it hits, the prices hits to that particular range, it goes down, and this is the trend support. And also you can, so trends can be in the downwards as well, in downward journey as well. See, in this downward journey, whenever it hits here, it moves up. Whenever it hits here, it goes down. So this is the trend support and this is the trend resistance. Okay, so I hope you got the proper understanding about these things. So we talk about supports and resistance, and also we talk about trend support and trend resistance as well. So, and we will take another area. I'm just drawing these things just to give you some understanding. Here, so it hits here. Whenever it hits here, it moves up. Whenever it hits here, it moves up. But whenever it hits here, it goes down. It's a trend resistance, and this line is the trend support. Okay. So, so there are multiple ways that in general people say you should not draw a line by cutting the body of the candle. That is also correct. But if you have lots of touch points, so that is also not that is also fine as long as you get multiple touch points. So there are multiple things that you need to understand in there also when you draw the trend supports and trend resistance. So I hope you got some understanding from that. So I hope from that you all can do your own researches on YouTube. There are lots of YouTube channels that you can learn these things. So we are just trying to give you some basic understanding, basic foundation, so that you can do your own work to improve your knowledge. So I hope I'm so much clear to you guys. So we talk about supports and we talk about resistance here. Then last thing, yeah, so this is the last thing. So I hope so there's another term what we I hope majority of you guys have heard about this: higher highs and higher lows and lower highs and lower lows, right? So that is also some price structure in the market. So let's assume market is moving upward. So this is an upward trend. See, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, goes down. But in general, the trend is in upward. So whenever a trend is in upward, so when the trend is in upward, we will identify it as a higher or high. We will try to lay down a foundation. When prices are moving up, it's high. When prices are going down, it's low, right? So here, if you look at, now here the price is moving here, then it hits this particular area and it goes down. Now this is a high point. In the high channel, it's a high point. So that is known as higher highs. Then it goes down, it takes some support here. It's a higher low because entire price movement is in upward trend. Entire price movement is in upward trend. It's a so because of that we know we call it as a high, and whenever it hits here, it's a higher high and it's a higher low. So I'll show you in the chart. So this movement is an upward movement. So this is upward movement. Now this area, this particular price area, this is a higher high, upward, so high, and this is the highest point, it's a higher high. Then it goes down, it takes the support, but it's in the upward trend, then it's a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It when it goes down, when the prices are going down, so that means it's low. So this is higher, lower highs, this is lower low, lower highs, lower low. I hope you got that idea as well here. So the basic idea of this is that we have supports, we have resistance, then we have trend supports, and we have trend resistance. And after that, we talk about some definitions for higher highs and higher lows, and lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so I hope I am so much clear to you all. So so that's all about the so time also. Yes, so we have planned it from 7 to 8, so time is also up, I guess. So now we discuss, so in general, I will summarize this. Yeah, so what we said is markets. So we have the market and we have humans. So humans are so much important because humans are the major part of the market, and those humans will have their own way of or living their life, and majority of people will have the same way of living their life. So and also the markets have been created by the humans. Then so that is where all these supports or resistance or common factors or common way of handling things will come into the market, right? So we talk about life of a human, and we say we said the same thing. Then we talk about supports and resistance in general. Support and the resistance area is the area where majority of sellers and the buyers will be activated at that particular range. Yes, and also we talk about supports and we talk about resistance. Then we talk about trend supports and trend resistance. Then after that, we talk about higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows. So remember, how to remember this is, so when there is an upward trend, price always goes into higher levels. So because of that, start from high. Whenever it hits to high, it's a higher high. Whenever it's low, it's higher low. Because prices are moving upward, higher highs, higher lows. When the prices are going down, it's always making lows. Then you will have lower lows. So this is the lowest point. Then from that it goes up, it's a lower high. It goes down, it's another low, lower low, and it's again it moves up, it's a lower high. But in general, since the general trend is downward, it's low. Since the general trend is upward, it's high, higher high, higher lows. Here lower lows, lower highs. Right, so that's about the session, and I hope you got some understanding. So just log in into the investing.com site, and you all can do lots of charts like this. You all can keep practicing, guys. You will not just quickly understand these things. It's so much important to identify these things. You have to practice a lot. So from the practice only you can identify all these things. Always go into the investing.com site and draw all these lines. Don't think about whether it's right or wrong. You will keep learning. So whenever you have some question, just Google it. Just look at lots of there are lots of video available in the YouTube. You can find lots of solution. But this is the start. Don't stop from here. You will have to keep learning. So however you the more the practice you put in, then your accuracy will be high. Right. So that's about the session. Let's go into into the question area. If the price drop below the support line, that means that the support line is not valid. Yes, in general, yes, but there are because we have to. There is another term that we need to discuss is the breakouts. So now, just assume I'll answer this. Now here, now in this particular share, it hits here, then it took a resistance here, and then it goes down. Now it went up. Now when it went up, now this particular resistance has been broken. So whenever this particular resistance has been broken, we need to identify whether this breakout or confirmation is a real breakout or not. See, now I guess this is a fake breakout. So now it's going down. So yes, as you said, the support, if support is broken at one point, then it goes down to another lower point, then so that means our initial support is broken. But unfortunately, you can't actually come to that particular decision whether it's broken or not, because we have to identify whether that particular breakout is a real or fake. So we will discuss that in our next sessions as well. So here what we try to do is to give you some basic understanding about the supports and resistance. So now you exactly know how to identify the supports and resistance. So next session we will look at how to identify whether the breakout is a real breakout or fake breakout. Okay, so I answered this. If price drop below the support line, is that means support line is not valid? Yes, but we need to understand whether it's a fake breakout or a real breakout. So we will discuss that theory. In a bull market, most stocks are touching new highs. So do we need to check resistance and support on bull market? Yes, guys. In bull markets, everything is going upward. We have to identify supports and resistance, because why we should identify supports and resistance is that because there are different people will have different ways of booking their profits. So let's say you buy a share at 50, and if it goes to 70 and 70 is the resistance, and you have a 20 rupees margin, and if that 20 rupees margin is enough for you guys, then what you do is you just sell at 70 and you vanish from the trade. But it doesn't mean that you should actually sell that particular share at that point. But there are different people who will do some daily trades. They enter into a support and they sell at a resistor, even though the prices are moving up. So that's their strategy. So based on the strategy, they can take their decision. Normally, support and resistance appears in consolidation phases, right? Yes, exactly. Consolidation phase also supports and resistance are there. Just let me I'll try to මේක එහෙම කියලා නිකන් හිතමු මේක, but I don't have a proper way of explaining that. Just forget about all these things. Just now, generally consolidation phase is like a range movement. So range movement කියලා කියන්නේ the price is moving like this. So let's say this is the support and this is the resistance. Then it hits the resistance, it comes to the support, it hits to the resistance, then again it comes to the support. So likewise, so that is what we call as a range movement. So in the consolidation period also, the share is moving maybe in a support and resistance range. What else? how can we find resistance? That means all time high resistance අපිට මේ බලන්න පුළුවන් through Fibonacci lines. So whenever share is moving upward, as you said, all time highs, there is no past data. Then we have to use Fibonacci tool to identify the next possible resistance. So we will discuss that in future sessions. May I know the benefits of taking EMAs for these charts? Thank you. Right. Okay. Remember, I forgot one thing. So we said supports and resistance can be identified through these trend lines and as well as through EMAs. So just look at here. I'm just taking this particular EMA. So we will have to change these EMAs to identify it in a proper way. But just to give you some context, so whenever it hits to this particular, now this is as per this, I'm using 10 and 20 EMA for this Bitcoin. So whenever he hits to this red EMA, so that is 20 EMA, it has started its movement, right? So whenever it's here, it has started its movement. So EMA is also can be taken it as a support, but we will have to adjust this because there are different EMAs that we can use in terms of when we select different stocks. So we have to adjust it and see which is going to be the best EMA that we can use for the particular stock. But I'm just trying to give you some basic here. Look here now, whenever it hits to this 20 EMA, in general it's going upward. So that is how we identify the supports and resistance through EMAs as well. How do you draw these charts through PC? Do we need to download? No, you don't need to download anything. You just go to Google and put investin.com. Then you will get a chart platform like this. Then you can select, you can type your stock name. Let's say if you want to analyze Expo, you just type Expo, then Expo will appear here. Then you can select it and you can start drawing. Why top gainer shares of the day normally stop around 25? Is it because of resistance? No, it's a rule. It's a rule given by CSC, where they have a limit. So even if it is upward or downward, they have a limit about of 25%. If a share hits to 25% up or down, so they will stop trading, and they, in some cases, they can lift the trading as well. Based on brokers request. How to drawing moving averages line and what is the theory behind? Moving averages are taken from, it is not actually drawing. We take it from, we actually take the moving averages from tools section of the investin.com. So we will show that in future sessions.
Hi Terence.
Yes.
Hey Shamila.
Yes, Shamila.
So I got some requests from few of my followers. They wanted to see this what do you call our CSC ASPI chart. They wanted us to do a little analysis on the ASPI. Some are worried there's a correction comes, so they want to know how it is going. Do we be able to do that, or are we done with it?
No, I'm so sorry. We actually just thought of we actually thought of not to discuss any shares or any analysis on the CSU or anything, because here the main purpose of this here is to give them the understanding as to how they should do it. Otherwise the people might think, okay, we are promoting some shares, so, or, you know, so those kind of things can come. So because of that only I didn't take any share in the market. We took the Bitcoin so that we can give the foundation. I'm sorry guys, let's not do that. So here the purpose of the session is to give some awareness to you all to understand these things. Then you all can do these things in future. I know charts are available in this, then how you draw these lines and others. Yeah, lines are method tools from these tools you can draw. Machan can show them how to open charts to okay. How to okay, sure. So just
chart එකකට ගිහිල්ලා මචං පොඩ්ඩක් පෙන්වන්න හරි.
yeah, okay. I'll remove these things. Okay, so this is how we get the chart. So you just type here, let's say if you want to check expo, I'm not going to do it, but I'm just trying to show you.
මචං
If you want to
stop you for a second.
yes,
මචං අලුත් ටැබ් එකකට ගිහිල්ලා ඉන්වෙස්ටිං ගිහිල්ලා පෙන්වනවා නම් මම හිතේ උතන්ට එන්නත් දන්නේ නැති කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා වගේ.
okay, wait, okay, so I'll tell you how to go into the investing.com straightforward. In the Google, just type investing.com and you will get this. Then from there, let's say you can type here, let's say expo, you get 111 share. Then you have this, then go to technical charts. Then from here you can expand. Then you get the get this screen. You will have to click here, then this particular chart will become candlestick chart. Then this is where, here is the indicators. So this is where you inbuilt the indicators. You just click there, and let's say you need to take EMA, exponential and moving average. So I have taken 2. Then if let's say if you want to bring RSI indicator, you just type here RSI, it comes here. Let's say if you want to go into if you want to get MACD, you type here and you get it. So this is how you take all these things. Then based on your strategy, you can change this. Let's say change EMAs to 10 and 20. Okay, so then you have the indicators. Then let's say if you want to, I'm not going to, so let's not go into let's go into very old area of Expo Lanka. Okay, so let's say if you want to draw a trend line, you will have to click here. So you have trend line, you have to click here, then you just draw a line like this. Okay, so it's the trend line. And if you want to have channel like this, මේක ගොඩක් ඕල්ඩ් එකක් නේ. yes ඕල්ඩ් එකක් නේ. රුපියල් 40 ගණන් වල ඉන්න ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. ඔන්න ඔය වගේ තමයි channel එකක් කොහම ඔය වගේ අදින්න. මේ මෙතන තියෙනවා ගොඩක් tools තියෙනවා. මේ trend line එකක් අඳින්න පුළුවන්. ඔය parallel line එකක් මේ විදිහට අඳින්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ තියෙනවා. So that's how you get all these options. Okay, I hope I'm clear. Yeah, sure, we'll send the first session video. Don't say sir කියන්නේ පාපි අපිත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ වගේම තමයි. තාම අවුරුදු 30 35. Shows fair value if we pay it's investing.com price. Don't rely on the investing.com fair prices. මොකද ඒවා සමහර ඒවා data update වෙලා නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ හින්දා always go to the financial statements and check financial ratios, and after that you get the fair value. Don't depend on the investing.com prices. Previous session, yes, is given. Okay, we'll check. Yes, I showed you guys, can we use EMAs and MAs to identify supports and resistance? Yes, we can identify. නිකම් මෙතන හිතලා බලන්නකො නේ, ජෙනරලි හිතුවොත් මෙන්න මේ හරියට වගේ නිකම් මෙතන වැදුනහම ඔන්න උඩට යනවා. දැන් මෙතන ගත්තොත් මෙන්න මෙතන වැදිච්ච ගමන් ඔන්න උඩට ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට මෙන්න මේ ඒරියා එක ටිකක් ඔන්න මේක සමාන, ඒ කියන්නේ 10 එක සපෝට් කරලා තියෙනවා වගේ එකක්. හරි. So that's how we have to look at. What is the logic of selecting EMAs? So there is no proper logic to say. So in general, people will use 10, 20 for short-term EMA, but we will discuss those things in future. So that's actually depending on the strategy. One thing is depending on the strategy, and other factor is that you can't in some cases you can't use the general EMAs for each and every stock. So what we have to do is, let's say if you have used 10 and 20 EMA, then you will have to back test and see how that particular share is acting for that particular EMAs that you have selected. So there could be instances where one EMA logic might not act into each and every share. Okay, so we have to look that as well. So we will discuss those things in the future. Why not you go to investing show sound? Okay, sure, done. As per teaching, I attempted to draw on random stock. How you able to suggest if I did right? Also support return line at 9. Can it possible please review this drawing? Sorry. Fibonacci not available in investing.com. No, it's available. I'll show you. Fibonacci retracement available. I can show how to get 50 minutes chart per day. Getting knowledge is very expensive these days. You will have given me. Yeah. Okay, guys. One has sent us a chart to check. I'm sorry, I can't open that. I will give you my email address. I'll type here. Just send it to that. I'll check and respond. Sorry. Everyone. Okay, so I gave you my email address. Just that particular chart, please send it to this particular email address so that I will check and let you know. So I hope I'm clear to you guys. So that's the start of the session. So I hope I gave you some foundation. So from that it's your responsibility to learn, do your own research and learn this lovely area of technical analysis. You will actually love this area. It's amazing subject that we should learn. Yeah, so that's about the session. I hope I was able to give you some context to you all. Yeah, next session probably next week. Dr. Amila will share.
So yeah, I'm here. Yeah, Terence, so we are planning the next session, most likely a short session of fundamental analysis one,
Yes, yes.
little bit one. So once we plan the date and confirm it, then we'll let everyone know.
Yeah, super, super. Right, okay. Thank you so much. So I hope I was clear to you all. And if you have any clarification, you all can put comments in Dr. Amila's Twitter. Then we will reply to that. Yes, it's a long journey, guys. Start learning, keep learning, do keep practicing on the same thing. Then you will embrace this journey into a great extent. Thank you very much for joining, and have a wonderful day, and also a superb week for you all to get more and more profits during next week. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Right.